Welcome back to Two Brother Sports Podcast. It is Wednesday, July 9th. We had a week off, 4th of July weekend, weekend. Was able to enjoy some lake time with the fam. Got a lot of nice R&R, little reset. I think we're doing all right. Coming on this week, we've got a nice little Scottish Open in the Renaissance Club. We've got UFC Fight Night in Nashville, and then we've got some MLB All-Star break. Maybe some All-Star snubs. Maybe we might complain for one of our guys who should have gotten in, but I digress. And then, of course, anything else that we're playing this weekend. It's the two brothers. It's the two degenerates. We're back as always. Max, how the hell are we, man?
Yeah, man, I am feeling like a degenerate. I mean, I took the whole week off. You and Taylor came down Thursday, or you Wednesday night. You came down Wednesday night, but yeah. So I had that whole week, and I was doing degenerate stuff, but just fishing and drinking, but drinking a lot, and so it was fun. Yeah, I'm still recovering right now, and glad to be back. Had a little nice vacay with the fam, so. Ready to talk shop as always.
Dude, it's needed, especially at this time of year. We kind of hit that first 6 month span. 4th of July usually ends up in a perfect spot for that. You got
Hmm.
6 months most of the time, unless you're spoiled like me, you get to go on a 2 week Japan trip. But most people are not really getting that 2 week, 1 week kind of trip until around this time. So glad you were able to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Had a kick-ass time. We got ourselves a good weekend ahead of us. A lot of winners. I feel like it's almost like it's one of these, like it's like a oh, and then it's like, oh, okay, I can see the board clearly. I can reset a little bit. A couple days maybe without alcohol in our system, be able to kind of think straight a little bit. Um, so yeah, we've got ourselves a good little weekend. Joey Chestnut with a big 70 and a half burger on the 4th of July with a hot. Apparently it was a
Yeah.
slow bun day. Slow bun day. Um, it was a little humid from what I'm understanding. So humidity equals soggier dogs, harder dogs to eat. Sometimes
Hey,
it can.
they're supposed to be soggy. Sorry.
Yep. So, 70 and a half still hit. I think Max, I don't know if you ended up betting on. I know we were like getting on the boat over to the Fitz's by the time these were ready to register, but I got the 70 or more, thankfully. So I barely squeaked by on my main bet. Threw a little sprinkle on him breaking the record of 76 at plus 450. Did not hit. Whatever. Made it back. It was all good. Other than that, Max, I only won one other bet since we last talked. I took a couple days off and then said, you know what, 4th of July, I'm gonna probably do a little gambling on the 4th with some promos. So I saved some of it, but put a couple futures in on golf. Only one hit. I did hammer Denny McCarthy T20 at plus 140. That was a big one. And then Joey Chestnut, 70 and a half at minus 110. Only two bets I won, and I don't want to talk about how many other bets I placed, but let's just say everything that was gained was lost. And we're on a nice little reset for this week, ready to go into the second half of the 2025 gambling season. Because Max, it never stops. Never stops. If you're a
Nope.
never stops. So we've got that. Any other 4th of July highlights? I'm trying to think. I don't even, Max, we're not even going to break down anything that has to do with NFL offseason stuff and or NBA summer league / all the moves that happened. I I'm sorry, everyone. We could spend an entire podcast talking about those things. We're gonna wait till the season actually starts, see what happens. But yeah, anything else aside from that from this weekend? I know you watched some Wimbledon. You watched a good amount of Wimbledon on the week off, did you?
Yeah, yeah, man. Some good tennis as always. I love seeing that grass court and center court. Some pretty good stuff. Of course, Alcaraz is just balling. Um, he did beat Nori today, right? I,
Yep.
I saw it for a sec.
Alcar- Alcaraz swept him 3 sets.
That's what I thought. Um, Yeah, I mean, shout out Ben Shelton as well. Shout out the USA lad. First uh, USA got to get to quarters since Roddick in '04, I believe, which is really cool.
Yep. Well, and then of course he didn't do that alone either. Got Mr. Taylor Fritz also at quarter. Um,
Oh yeah.
so him and Shelton at the quarter. Fritz on the way to the semis now after a win today against Kachanov from Russia. So now it is set. We've got two matches tomorrow, and that's Sinner versus Shelton. And then we've got Flavio Cabali and Joker. So the winner of those two play. And then we've got Fritz and Alcaraz on Thursday, July 10th for the semi. So we're waiting for
Yeah,
second leg.
well, it's played today.
Shelton plus 230 tomorrow morning, Max. I know it's 10 a.m. and most people probably listening will not be able to get a hold of this. But you know what? Fuck it. What do you got there? You gonna sprinkle a little Shelton plus 230 or is Sinner gonna get it done after a terrible performance against Dimitrov and got bailed out by a torn pec?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta go. I don't know. Sinner's gonna just come out uh, blazing after that performance. But you can't not put money on Shelton.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Not to, I know we're not very big tennis gurus, so I think I don't want to avoid people shutting this off. But I did actually want to look at the sets, just this, if they had like a total sets. Uh,
Well, yeah, it should be out if it's tomorrow or today if you're listening.
so there's not an over under on sets, it looks like, but there's either three, four, or five sets. And I kind of like a 4 or 5 set. And a 4 setter is at plus 150, and a 5 setter is at plus 215.
Hmm.
3 sets is plus 140. I don't think Sinner comes out. I think Shelton at least gets one.
Yeah.
I mean, he's minus
Has
275. He's minus 275 to get
Shelton.
at least one set.
Is that just like one plus or is it directly one? Is it like
Yeah, no, at least one. At least one. So at least one is minus 275. To win at least 2 sets is plus 105. Minus 140, no. So
I hate how
there's
big of a jump that is. Yeah, he could get swept for all we know. I don't know. He's been looking really good. He's been looking really good. So that's what like makes me have hope too.
I think it's more likely that Shelton wins the first set and then Sinner wins the next three than anything.
Right.
Like you're just like he could win one first and then you're like, ooh, maybe he'll win that second one to get me that plus 105. And then you're like, I don't know. I don't know. So we'll see. First, and the other one I kind of like is if you like a mat. I don't more. This is just like a knowledge transfer here. Um, I'm learning that like that first set. If it's someone who's gonna run them pretty close and it's not just gonna be a blowout match, I love betting the over games. Like a little. The only thing is that yeah. Okay. Shelton Center's a tough one because it's minus
Hard
two.
yes.
Yeah, well, it's minus 200 for over 9.5. So if it's 6'4", 7'5", 7'6", whatever, then you're good. But I mean, plus 160 for 11 games, and I don't think it's gonna go. I don't know. I could see 6'4" on the dot, which unfortunately is right where they've got it set at. So clearly, I don't know anything about tennis, and this is why we don't gamble on tennis because everything I think has already been contradicted. So.
It's very hard.
Here's what I do, man. Before I just start pinging off questions for tennis, just so we can knock this out. So everyone can be like, all
And then
right,
the agenda
fuck that.
for ten.
Let's just do some futures.
I
For
like
the
Novak.
you like Novak plus 370. You like that?
I liked him when he was plus 600. I think it was round three.
I mean, Alcaraz is minus
After he beat
160.
the other Croatian, after he beat Sesmamov and Kesimovic. maybe.
Max, you know what I
I only got 3 games on them. Or set. Yeah, games. Sorry.
yeah. Well, Alcaraz minus 165 and minus 165 with still 6 guys left in the tournament is like that's pretty insane. I don't really like that.
And yeah. Sorry, say that again. I was just looking at
No,
that.
there's 6 guys left, right? There's the semis already set with Fritz and Alcaraz, and then you got the 2 quarters. Alcaraz is already minus 165 to win the Wimbledon. This would be 3 times in a row, which has been done a few times, but not a whole lot. And Sinner at a plus 350. I know you like Joker, but like Sinner is a right now. I mean, Sinner wins against Shelton pretty easily. He's getting close to like plus 120, 150, you know? So
Yeah.
I don't want to put it on Sinner, but I feel like from a value standpoint, Sinner's good right now at plus 350.
Yeah. I mean, he's number one.
Max Taylor Fritz plus 2,500, the American. He's on a roll right now. He beats Alcaraz. Who knows where the odds shift? You might even just get a nice, pretty cash out. Good from 25. Like that would be one where you know what, put it a little on Fritz. If he beats Alcaraz, he goes from 2,500 to like plus like 300. No, he's in the final. So like he's got to be less than that. So at that point, it's like, all right, well, if I can even just cash out after that,
It
and
might still be like plus 600, depending on who he faces. What if it's an American face-off?
dude, if we get Shelton and Fritz, I think the entire Greater Britain, Greater United Kingdom, would fall again. Sorry, had to. It's around that time of year. But yeah, so I like that. Honestly, I like your Joker pick because he is quietly just rolling right now.
Oh, fuck you, Tor.
He really is. He really is. So I like that. Oh, I would love a Joker Sinner. I mean, obviously we want Shelton, but a Joker Sinner would be just like Joker can't get it done, kind of like that passing of the torch, one of his last runs. He's tied for he's not tied. Yeah, he's tied for the second most Wimbledons behind Federer right now. So
Yeah.
opportunity to tie him this year. Alcaraz maybe goes down to Fritz, and we got a Fritz Joker. Who knows, man? So I like that a lot. And then I know the ladies have had quite a few people drop that were kind of in that top 10 range. Coco Gauff, Pagula, a lot of Americans, honestly. Um,
Yeah, dude, Coco, shit, that was crazy.
Coco, Madison Keys, Pagula, 3 Americans in the top 10 that all went down. We do have one left, and that's Amanda Anisimova. She is going to have the tough task in the semifinal playing against Sabalenka, and the winner of that will play well, we got a couple different things going on, but Iga
The
Swiatek, who is a kind of one of the main ones, top
past
10.
number one.
Yeah, past number one. Pretty much was the number one for the last couple years before Sabalenka overtook that. But
Not like they
futures odds, we've got Sabalenka minus 140, Swiatek plus 400, and then everyone else kind of trickles in after that. Are you buying the Sabalenka hype at minus 140?
Probably considering what happened at the French Open and just how she pretty much just shit on herself. I think she's got a good thing going. She's looked nice and crisp. But
And hot.
Swiatek, yeah, and hot. Swiatek has also looked very, very good. So I think if they both end up in the finals, that'd be fantastic finals to watch on Saturday.
Yep. I totally agree. I think that would be awesome. One can hope this is about the time, Max, where you and I actually know most of the people. Not gonna say we know everyone and we know everything about them, but this is about the only time or window we have to talk about tennis where we might actually make sense. So that was talking tennis.
Yeah, we
Love
were
it.
forced to watch it at growing up, and so here we are.
Yep.
But
Oh yeah. I mean, with
here,
that, Yeah, Dad loves Wimbledon. So we've always, I mean,
I
we've been
like we played it and everything.
well, we've been watching it whether we did or didn't want to watch it growing up.
But yeah.
I just remember coffee and Wimbledon. And now I remember the late coffee and Wimbledon, which is a good thing. But yeah, yep. Awesome. Well, I like that. I might even do a little I like Sabalenka, but I might parlay her with like a sinner or Joker just to get out. Last time I did this with I did it with Sabalenka and Alcaraz, and I think Alcaraz won and Coco Golf won instead of Sabalenka. So I feel
Yeah.
like one of the two I need to not pick the favorite. Seems too easy, but you never know with tennis. So there's that. So yep, that's talking tennis. Let's move on to the other country club sport, Max, and we're gonna stay across the pond. You feel me? We go from Wimbledon to the Renaissance Club in, I think it's Keswick, Brunswick, something with a wick at the end of it. Scotland. Scotland. That's all I know.
Portland.
Because it's the Genesis Scottish Open. We've got two Genesis tournaments, not to confuse you with the Riviera Genesis Invitational out in Cali, but we're going from the other coast to the other coast. And we've got the Scottish Open, returning champion Bobby McIntyre, the Scottish man. And then we're 1 week out from the Open Championship, Max, over in the Royal Portrush in Ireland. So we've got we had last couple weeks off, right?
Mhm.
A lot of the big stars taking these, John Deere Classic, Rocket Mortgage, kind of honestly, it's a good bet. Those were good betting week opportunities for us because one, we didn't have Scotty, two, we didn't have the big dogs, and three, you could have just flipped a coin, or you just pick the last guy on the list and you take Brian Campbell,
Mhm.
and you get fucking 275 to one. Craziness from his part. And all they had to do was hit the fucking drive down the middle. And then Griot just pissed his pants. And, that was that. But we're back in the Scottish Open. We've got the big dogs back: Rory, Scotty, Xander, Tommy Fleetwood, the whole nine. Also, Max, want to mention this for the people. This is a DP World Tour combo with the PGA Tour. So there's a lot of names on here that you and I at least, don't know too well.
Yeah.
A lot of European golfers. DP World Tour is the European equivalent of the PGA. So there is a lot of mix and match, but we still have the big dogs at the top trying to get ready for next week. Couple guys not playing. I'd say Shane Lowry's one to note. I know he'll be back for next week, but he's one. There's a couple other guys sprinkled in there. There's actually one guy, Rico Hoey, who I really wanted to
Mhm.
play this week. He's a good ball striker. This course in an unfortunate manner fits him well. I was very excited to play him. He was one of the first guys that came to my mind when I was talking about long shots, and unfortunately, I don't think he's in this one. I'll do a quick little scan. But Max, a lot of European golfers, a lot of opportunity in the nationality market, and overall a lot of good stuff. So I guess let's start with this. Anything you're looking forward to before we get into the picks?
No, honestly. Well, I mean, like, yeah, but like nothing like crazy. Just looking forward to some good golf.
Love it, love it. So I was doing some reading. I try and do some like course fit kind of reading. Fried Egg and like No Laying Up podcasts are usually pretty good about those course previews, stuff like that. Didn't really get a chance to listen too much, and I don't think they had a whole lot this week just on this tournament. I'm sure they're getting ready for next week. So you know what? While they're sleeping, Max, we're gonna keep grinding. And from what I'm understanding for this course, it's a lot of similar vibes to what we're gonna expect at Royal Portrush next week. But here's the themes when you get over to Europe and that Scotland, Ireland, England kind of front. One, do you have a guy that doesn't hang that ball up in that thing? What I mean by that wind.
Hmm.
You get a lot of wind. You got to get guys who's got that good ball striking, guys who are able to cut through that. Maybe guys who aren't as much of your lofty guys. One that kind of comes to mind, and I will get into it, but Rory can loft that ball up there sometimes, do a little too much with his, and end up getting an unfortunate spot because the way they hit the ball, man, their balls actually do matter when it comes to the wind. Ours don't because we're cutting through nothing. If anything, it's just humidity clouds
Yeah.
in Gaston slash Richmond, Virginia right now. So that's one thing, ball striking, like I said. And then approaching the green. So it's going to be a lot of longer iron shots for a lot of it. Fairways are going to be pretty gettable, but it's going to be those longer irons that are going to be able to kind of press down. I don't know the weather. If I had to guess, Max, probably going to be a little rainy, probably going to be a little overcast. Never been to Scotland, England, or Ireland. I'm just going to make that general assumption, and I don't think I'm wrong. Don't know what to expect, but probably something along those lines. And then a scramble king was the last note that I made. Um, just guys that if you get in the shit, you're going to be able to get out of it. Um, Honestly, a guy like Bryson, I know he's not playing this weekend, but a guy like Bryson, uh, is one that comes to mind. Just being able to get out of that thicker stuff. We're gonna get all that long. We're gonna get like a nice preview. We're gonna get all that long grass and stuff before next weekend. But Max, start me off. What is your favorite pick of the weekend for the Scottish Open?
Mm. I mean, I'm gonna have to go 1-1. Old Scotty Scheffler, top five, just for the whole tourney. That's minus 120. So right at the spot, but that's definitely it's a straight bettable.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's hard not to, right? Like,
Yeah.
and it's funny because he's so clearly a favorite when it comes to that because he's at minus 120 there. I mean, Rory's at plus 175. Xander, who's next, is plus 350, and it just goes on from there. It's kind of insane how
Yeah.
that works. And it's including ties. So I could totally see him
Yeah.
if he's not going to be if he's not going to win, he's going to backdoor his way into a 65 or something on Sunday, and he's at least going to make some of those guys in the last group sweat. So I love that. Love
Yeah.
that. And
It's chalk, but who cares?
I mean, it's top five. I mean, outright winner with plus 360, you're just hanging too much out there.
Yeah.
At least with the minus 120, you're still, yeah, you're not getting plus 360, but you should feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, for sure.
And we'll get into the winner without Scotty Market here in a little bit, I imagine. But as for our other picks, not one that we're gonna do. Max, I'm gonna lead you off. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do. I got some good honorable mentions. Bobby McIntyre, he's Scottish. He won it last year. And the next best Scottish golfer on this pool is Ewan Ferguson and a couple D5 dorks or DP dorks. Sorry, not D5. Holy shit, that was so Richmond it hurt. Uh, Not D5 because D5 is no longer. It's Skybox or some bullshit. And
Yep.
it's even more filled with dorks now than it was before. But you know what? You got to put your hands up and just s- stay out of the parking lots. Um, anyway, Bobby McIntyre, top Scottish, plus 115. Yes, for a nationality prop. It's a little juicy. Max, it's Ewan Ferguson. It's Callum King. It is. Where's the other ones? There it is. Sorry. Now, Bobby Mack plus 115, Ewan Ferguson plus 400, Callum Hill plus 650, Connor Smythe, Richie Ramsey, and Grant Forrest. There's one guy on the PGA Tour. There's one guy who won the tournament last year. And there's one guy who really needs good form coming into the Open Championship next week. So, yeah, give me Bobby Mack plus 115. It's plus money, but I really like it.
Fuck yeah, I love it. It's good odds.
Dude, right? I mean, you can take that all day.
Oh, day.
And I'm sure his dad will be caddying.
Really? That'd be cool.
He did when he won the RBC, and I think the Scottish Open too.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Shoot.
all right.
Hey, I'm gonna go top 20. Good old guy for great odds. I know he kind of has had a little of an off year, but he's somewhat in his territory. Give me Ludwig Aubert plus 150, top 20.
This is great because I thought you were going to go somewhere else, and I'm going to go damn near next door neighbor. When you said he's from there and he's close. Um, I love the Ludwig pick, honestly. He's one where I've been kind of scared to play him recently, and I don't really know why. And
Yeah.
it's because he's in the fact that he is T20 and he's plus 150, I'm like, what the hell do they know that I don't know? And we don't have our resident Ludwig um expert here to tell us why, but we'll get that from him later and we'll just see how it goes. I mean, he could easily win this whole thing, easily be right there in the running at two plus 275 to be top 10. But why wouldn't we just take a T20 at plus 150 max?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why the hell not?
Yep. So I'm with you there. I really like that pick. I'm gonna go with a guy who's also for a Nordic country. Been playing pretty damn good golf. He's one of the top 10 strokes gained in approaching the green. And it sounds kind of bad, but like he's one of the guys who like is due, and by due he's due for a major. But I could totally see him winning this and then maybe shitting the bed next week. And unfortunately, I hope it's not the case because I'll probably wind up betting him next week too, depending on the odds. But that's Victor Hovland, T20 at plus 160 max. I was looking between Ludwig, Hovland, and Sepp Straka. Uh, Ended up with Mr. Hovland, but it was strictly just a who's got the highest strokes gained on the approach. We'll see. Putting is going to be big, but off the tee, I mean, Ludwig is better than all of those guys by far. So interested to see how that plays out. Hopefully we can both win our bets.
That would be very nice.
Well, it would be very nice. All right. For the last pick of our little thing, and then we'll get into some honorable mentions. I don't know what the thing's called. We'll figure out something. But Scotty, T5, minus 120. Ludwig, T20, plus 150 max. Give me one more absolute banger, please.
Hmm. That absolute banger. There's one I do really like, but I got that feeling it's feeling good, and that's JJ Spawn plus 130 for top 30.
That's crazy. Is that including ties or no?
No, it is not.
I don't think you're going to need them.
I don't either.
Leave your ties at home, kids.
Exactly. I can see ties real quick.
And we're back. We're back
I
with the
don't think they
boys.
have it up for this.
Well, they're weird. Yeah, they don't always have the like T30s and T40s including ties. They'll have them like yeah, I don't think they do.
So at least DraftKings doesn't.
Yeah, at least DraftKings. Plus 130 for T30. And Max also, he's a guy I was waiting for you to mention because he fits this course very well. Uh,
hmm
Honestly. He's a good ball striker. He's good around the green. He's not this flashy. I'm going to drive the ball 100 billion yards. I'm going to put it where I need to be, and then I'm going to try and hit that long iron where I need to.
Yeah.
Saw that at Oakmont. He played damn well. So many good approach shots. So, Max, you got yourself a little star-studded lineup this week.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
and I really like that. So, yeah. Um, I was kind of surprised. I was double checking my numbers, and I really wanted to do a T20 with him. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I got a little close on the odds for a T20 was plus 105, which I really like. And then I looked at plus 220 on T10, which means he's probably going to finish about T15. But there's also a chance he could win. He's one of the best ball strikers currently in all of golf. He's top 10 in ball striking off the tee. He's also top 5 in strokes gained approach. Once again, Max gone with the same theme as Mr. Victor Hovland. Guy who's due, could totally win this tournament. Don't know how it's going to pan out next week. I'm not going to ride this guy too high next week, but I'll probably bet him just in case. That's Colin Morikawa.
Mm.
T10 plus 220, man. I couldn't get myself to do a T20 at plus 105, you know? I feel like I needed it more juicy, but
Yeah,
yeah, I just didn't know, but I was like, yeah, he's probably gonna finish like T12 or something, but that's okay. So that is my third. So right now we've got Max with Scotty T5 minus 120, Ludwig T20 at plus 150, JJ Spawn, the King T30 plus 130. Max gets his boy back, and yours truly with the Bobby Mack Top Scott plus 115. Mr. Victor Hovland with the T20. And our T20s all include ties, by the way.
yep,
T20 at plus 160 for Mr. Hovland, and then Colin Morikawa with the T10 at plus 220. 6 very, very, very good picks. There is a way, Max, that all of this can happen. Um,
true.
so hopefully we can get that. But I know you've got a couple extra funsies picks, maybe picks we're playing that didn't make the top 3, maybe just some long shots. Talk to me. What do you got? We'll just fire them off each one. One.
Word. Um, I so the other one that I was really debating was Matt Fitzpatrick top 30 at plus 110.
Ooh, I like that too. That's exactly where my Morikawa thought process is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Let me see a T20 though, just for the sake of it. Plus 160 as well for a T20. I like that as well. He has been playing decent golf too, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
He hasn't been playing too bad. His brother, fun fact, his brother's in this tournament this year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's
he's a DP World Tour guy. Um, and then I don't know if he'll play next week, but hey, you know what? Maybe I'll check those odds out in a second, see what Alex Fitzpatrick just to make the cut. Just you know what? I'll look that up. Um, but a Matt Fitzpatrick, okay, I like that. Let me see a little Alex Fitzpatrick make cut. Let's see what we can do here. Give me another one, Max, while you're at it.
I was kind of eyeing Rory top 10 minus 110 before you kind of shut him down a little bit.
Yeah, no, I mean I don't hate it, man. Dude's been off for a couple weeks. Here, the thing with Rory is like I could see him playing really fuck. He could win this whole thing, and then now we're the only thing is I almost don't want him to win this because now he's just gonna add so much more pressure to next week. So I don't know if he's gonna like bow out early. Like he could win this whole thing and we're all talking about him, or like he could shit the bed. I think last time with US Open he made the cut though and had a huge Sunday to kind of put
Yeah,
himself in a good spot. I also think that like at this point, I don't think any of the media or anything impacts Rory whatsoever anymore. Like he just kind of if he doesn't feel like fucking playing, he's not gonna play. But like other than that, I mean, he's kind of playing good golf, and I there's a couple bad turns after the Masters, but he's more or less just been like not playing and then playing well when he plays. So I don't really get the
right.
yeah. You said minus 110 for a T10?
Yep, including Taz.
I like that because if you got to get Rory now, you got to, or you just wait and see how he does on Thursday. But if he goes out and kills it on Thursday, you're kind of fucked.
Right.
Yeah. So I like that. Okay. Okay. Um, Let me see what else we got here. One I wrote down, Max, everyone who listens to this podcast knows I love me some first round leaders. And not going to do that this week because I haven't hit one. So, and I've been
What?
slowly dialing back. As you guys have probably seen, I'll give out like one first round leader and then I'll do some first round T10s, things like that. When the majors are around, you can do T20s in the first round. You can't do that on just a regular weekend. So one I like, and he's been kind of up there last couple tournaments. He's I think Max, he's gonna be added to my quote roster between Aaron Rye and company. Aaron Ryan, probably Ben Griffin at this point, are my two. I would say my third guy right now is Mr. Tempo Prince. He's
Mm.
not Tempo Town or Tempo King, Freddie Couples, but he's got a beautiful tempo. I love watching him swing the golf club. It looks so effortlessly. It's just kind of like this whiplash that like you're just like, I don't know how he whips it back so fast and it makes sense and it looks so clean. He was a couple putts away from making the playoff last weekend. He's had a couple big first rounders. That's Jake Knapp plus 800 for a round one T10. Max,
Ooh,
we got a note because first round plays do not include ties, so just keep that in mind. Nothing I can do about it on the DraftKings front unless maybe DraftKings wants to do it, but I'm sure
okay.
they love making money. So, not gonna question that. I got Mr. Nappy Nap at a top 10 round one, 800.
Okay. I like
Yep.
that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to limit it to like one T10 guy, and then I'm just gonna ride that, and then I don't have like a couple. Because I'll sprinkle like four on Thursday, and then by the time lunchtime rolls around, I lose all of them. So I'm gonna try and pick one, put a little bit more on it, but not as much as I would do with the four sprinkles, and then just hope that one hits. Like kind of like my only play of the day, maybe a round one three ball. I'll do that. I'll pick like round three balls, and I'll just pick three random guys. Well, not three random guys, but three guys, and I'll just do shits, but not worth throwing on here. If I said every single bet I took and I posted every single bet, you guys would fucking hate me. So I'd try not to do that.
What? No, we wouldn't.
Yeah, you would. Well, honestly, maybe it'd be good hate. I don't know. But yeah, so there's one there. What else do you like, Max?
Hmm. I just got one last one, just for funsies. And it's gonna be, oh, well, never mind. Go back to you because I clicked the wrong name.
Okay.
Screenshot it now.
Yep. No, you're good. You're good. I got well, I got three more, but I'll do this one. This is my long shot here. And it's not even that long of a long shot, but what I've noticed, you know what? Let me before I even get into that, Max, Dodo brain. Alex Fitzpatrick is plus 130 to make the cut. So if we just did Matt Fitzpatrick and Alex Fitzpatrick to make the cut, that gives you and just throw in Sabalenka while you're at it. Stupid Sam. Plus 222 for both the Fitzpatrick brothers to make the cut. I really, really like that. That was not the original play I was going to do, but I'll throw that out there. Did you find your bet?
I did, and it's pretty much the same odds. So I'll tell you what happened after, but I'm gonna go a to make the cut parlay
Yep.
for the two brothers on the two brothers sportscast. Those two brothers are gonna be the Hogard brothers. Minus 165 for Rasmus and minus 150 for Nikolai, and that gives you plus 167.
Ooh, should we do two brothers parlay? The Fitzpatrick brothers and the Hogard brothers?
Oh, we could. Oh, let me see if I can see if I
Well,
can.
no. Just keep them separate. Keep them separate. But
Well, I know, no, I know. I'm seeing if I can find Fitzpatrick since I'm already here. The little brother. There he is. Give me 2 seconds. Give me another one. Since you said you have like two more.
well, no, the Hogard brothers and then the Fitzpatrick brothers.
No, I meant another bet while I get this going.
Okay. Yep. I'll do my make the cut parlay after you do that. Back to the long shot I was talking about. Nationality props. There are more European nationalities on this tournament because of the DP World Tour. So some of the guys on the PGA Tour you're used to do have some advantages probably over these DP World Tour guys. It is kind of like a half a step down. No disrespect because I could never be on either of those tours, but that's
Mhm.
not the point. I'm trying to make some money here. So there's, pretty much every damn country in Europe, but there's one that I've specifically targeted for this one. Aside from Bobby Mack was just a given. Top Scottish. He won it last year. No brainer.
Mhm.
This guy is the fifth best odds for top Frenchman. But I'll tell you what, Max, there's only one guy I think you could name ahead of this guy. And I don't know how he's plus 800. And his name is Matthew Pavon. Um, he's been at the top 10 after majors in the first round this year, as early as this year. He's been up there competing for majors. And Victor Perez, also very good Frenchman. I think he's got a plus 360 on his back. I think that's mostly because of where the betting is going. I think it's probably closer to like a 450. I think it's pretty much a toss up. But if I can get Matthew Pavon at plus 800, I am going to be absolutely stoked as the top Frenchman. So I'm going to hammer that. Hammer sprinkle, you know, like a,
Yeah.
and then just because I can't, you don't hammer plus 800s, but in the effect that you do sprinkle it, sprinkle heavy.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then let me do one more, Max, while I'm on there, and then I'll kick back to you.
Oh,
We have talked about the top Scottish. We've talked about the top French. Give me one more, and give me a guy who also had himself a good little major season on. I want to say it was the U.S. Open. No, it was the Masters. It was the Masters. Um, and that is Mister Manacero, Matteo Manacero from Italy, plus 165. Francesco Molinari, who's an absolute legend, plus 280. Migliozzi and then Laporta are the other two. Manacero's been playing well. He's young. He's hungry for a big win here. I'm not even sure that he's eligible for next week. So sidebar, that's something to keep in mind. Some of these guys who might be on that cusp might expect them to play a little better because they're trying to get in versus maybe a Xander or something who might, you know, play well, but maybe he's like, all right, well, it's Saturday. I'm 8 strokes out of Scotty. I'm not going to hurt myself. So let's just get some good golf, learn what we need to learn for next week and keep it moving. Opens the door for guys like Manacero, plus 165. So give me that top Italian, and I'm done for nationalities.
nice. Yeah, so that parlay, the Fitzpatrick brothers parlay is plus 222. So a
Well,
little better odds there, but that's because Alex, his brother, you said that's in the other tour, is plus 130.
and what'd you say the Hogard brothers were? That was plus 165 combined?
Yeah, 167, yeah.
167. I like it. I like both of those. I mean, dude, how can we be two brothers on a podcast and not play both of those? That's crazy talk.
Exactly.
So I like that. Anything else you like? I got one more make the cut parlay. It also has a theme.
Nope, I'm done. That's all I got. So,
Cool. Well, we got two brothers make the cut parlays. And now, Max, I've got another theme on the make the cut parlay. It
mhm.
is guys who are across the pond playing good golf. Um, plus 261 is the odds. This is make the cut, and that's it. And I think, Max, I think we've kind of hit the nail on the head, and I'm glad you're on the same page. Like, this isn't a tournament I'm super confident on the long bets on. So, for some of these make the cuts, I like a lot of these because you can get some money before the weekend without having to bet the full tournament. When a couple of these make the cut parlays, and then you start looking at the live market, maybe Rory and Scotty are, battling. Maybe there's someone who's kind of coming up the rear, and then all of a sudden Scotty and Rory are like down, able to make some stuff on moving day. That being said, Tommy Fleetwood, Bobby McIntyre, my guy, Aaron Rye. Where is he? Oh, and Harry Hall. Uh,
Ooh.
Yep. Really like that. I think Aaron Rye had the longest odds out of that group, which was kind of surprising. And I do think this tournament plays really well to his strengths. But to your point, Max, I feel like I've been going heavy on the Rye Griffin train. I know you took a little hiatus from JJ Spawn. I'll still
Hmm.
play some personal Aaron Ryes, but overall, I mean, there's a lot of value here, and I'm just trying to find the most of it. But yeah, so that's where I'm at there. Aaron Rye for a T20 is plus 190. So I will play that. Um, but I'm trying to not let my bias get too involved. T30 is probably also good odds, if we're gonna be honest with you. Plus 130. So him and JJ Spawn are same odds and all that good stuff, basically for the tournament. Both technically good golfers, and very precise. So we'll see there. Max, I really like our board this weekend.
Yeah, dude, we got a lot of good ones. We got a lot.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Anything else on Scottish Open, or should we transfer from country club sports between tennis and golf? Should we switch over to something I've only seen recently at a country club, and that's just due to a viral video of a hockey player beating the shit out of another golfer. But let's move on to UFC. A couple dudes just being dudes. We got Nashville, Derek Lewis, and Teixeira, and there are a sneaky couple other good. I know that's the main event, but we've got some sneaky good fights in that main card as well as in the prelims, in the early prelims, as a good little Nashville card. So, Max, I've talked enough golf, so now it's your turn. Talk to me about what's going on this weekend on the UFC front.
Yeah, man. Like you said, it's actually pretty solid. Nothing crazy. I'm not gonna go too nuts on it. Just kind of give you guys some maybe money lines and just thoughts on 4 or 5 fights. Let's see. We'll start off with a prelim, and that's good old Chris Curtis versus Griffin. Um, Chris Curtis is Sean Strickland's like sparring partner. I think they own a gym together. They're like best friends. They got a podcast together. So that's the kind of fighter that well, he kicks more, but he's got that mentality. They're similar fighters. They both just come out striking and are animals. It's minus 330, so obviously good odds for Chris Curtis. But something you can think about putting into a parlay in the future for these next couple ones. Um, let's see.
Okay.
I guess Junior Taffa, he's Justin's little brother. Justin's a little more established. Junior's not too bad. He's
Tuco Tokos.
huh?
I
Uh,
said he's fighting Tuco Tokos.
I know, right? Um, he lost to Muhammad Usman, who I just talked about, I think a couple weeks ago. Um, Not great. I mean, he's 2-3 in the UFC. Um, so I don't know, but he's minus 170, something to think about. I don't have too much on that, but that's just something you could probably parlay that with Chris Curtis. Um,
Okay.
Other than that, we're just gonna jump to I don't know Calvin Guitar. I'd probably bet against him. He's 4 straight losses. Or this is the time he wins. He's plus 105 versus Garcia, who's minus 125. Um, Last two, and definitely not the least, we got Wonder Boy Thompson coming back off of his loss to Shavkat Rachmanov. Oh, he lost to Buckley too. Sorry, Buckley and Rachmanov, back-to-back losses. He's a legend in the game. He's plus 310. Botham is very good up and coming fighter. He's 27 years old compared to Thompson, who's 42.
Whew.
So big age gap there. But Wonder Boy is still an absolute beast. I want to say put something on Thompson. I really do, and I probably will. But if you're thinking parlays and finishing, I'd say probably both him knockout or decision.
Okay. Is this a Wonder Boy retirement potential fight?
Maybe. I mean, kind of looks like it should be for sure. Not that he's not like a like a Tony Ferguson who is just getting obliterated every fight. He's kind of kept he got submitted by Rachmanov, with KO'd by Buckley. Hester, just scared the fuck out of him. Damn, I forgot he was over there. He beat Holland, but then decisions to Burns and Bilal, who we both lost to, but they were decisions, so he's not getting KO'd every fight, just whatever. But so he's got some life, but I would imagine he should be done.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's why you get that little sprinkle. Maybe he just fucking puts Bonefim in some crazy. If he gets him to the ground, it's probably game over for Bonefim.
Okay. Do we how do we feel on over under 2.5 rounds?
Probably over.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say over.
Also thoughts, sorry to backtrack because I just kind of breezed over it. Tafa and Tokos over 1.5 rounds is plus 105.
Probably under. They're
Yeah, that's crazy.
gonna be swinging.
Yeah. I don't hate it. I mean, I hope, but it's one of those really low ones where you're just like, all right, how is it plus? I mean, that's 7.5 minutes. The guy can't last 7.5 minutes in the octagon. I
No.
mean, I couldn't. That's not the question we're talking about here. I don't want to start shit, but yeah.
Um, mm, not many people can,
All right.
especially light heavyweights.
Yeah,
You
I
guys are
feel
bigger for light heavyweights. I feel like heavyweights for sure, which we're about to get into. Um, but yeah.
it actually is kind of insane if you look at the entire last bit of the card, a lot of unders on rounds. There's not and not even it's all 2.5s and stuff. It's not even or 1.5s even some 1.5s. So I respect it. It sounds like it's gonna be a bunch of big boys fighting, and I'm excited for that. That always yields good fights.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's what is it? It's two heavyweights, a light heavyweight, and then a couple featherweights.
Yeah. Yeah, another heavyweight and yeah.
Okay, still enough good stuff.
Oh yeah, okay, enough of it. And then last but not least, I don't care what you want to say. I'm not gonna bet on this other man who looks like an absolute animal. He's fighting the animal, the Black Beast, Derek Lewis, plus 230. I don't give a shit. This man, this man is the best. I love Derek. Give me that all day.
Oh
Nothing
yeah.
to say.
Yeah, I mean, definitely under 1.5. Regardless.
Yeah. What is
Like,
that, like minus 185?
minus 238 is minus 1.5 rounds.
Damn.
Yeah.
Kind of close.
Yeah, that's insane, dude. That is absolutely insane.
Guy's 6'7".
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Oh, I know. I saw that. 6'7", 25 years old. Like,
Yeah.
dude.
Where did they find this guy?
And why
I
is
don't care.
why is no one fighting him but Derek Lewis? Who's like he's just like, fine, fuck it. I'll do it.
Yeah. Well, because like no one, he was on. I don't think it's Ariel Hawani. It was the ESPN like MMA guy, the Asian guy. But um, I don't remember. He was on his show, and he was just like, yeah, like no, like none of the heavyweights are fighting or anything. He's like, no one wants to fight, so he's like, I'll take whatever.
Yeah, why not, dude? Shit, yeah. I like it. I know almost got ahead of myself. I can't Your boy is on the prelim card next week, so I'm excited to get into that next week with the big what is that? 318 in New Orleans, headlined by Poirier Holloway. Next week is strictly UFC 318 and the Open Championship. But your boy Brendan Allen on the prelim card against Vittori. You don't need to go and predict anything. Just an observation. That's a hell of a prelim, Max.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
are you getting fucking drowned right now in the rain? I can hear this loud
I got
down.
a fan blowing right on me because my AC can barely keep up, so I can't really hear much.
Oh, damn.
Well, I can hear you, and then just the AC or the fan just going.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. But sorry, Brendan Allen Vittori. Any like without predictions or anything? You excited? That's gonna be a great card.
yeah, I hope he can do this. He's had some good wins. Brendan Allen has had some good wins, but coming off of two losses, he's a hard worker and shit. So I think he'll be back, or he'll be bouncing back. It is a great fight. It's like the perfect setup for both. They're pretty much the same fighter in my eyes, and Vittori's coming off two losses as well. So
Yep. Yeah, I'm excited for that. It should be a really good card. If anything on Derek Lewis to share, I mean, if you're looking at under or the money line for Derek Lewis, that's probably your best bet, right? Like, I know the other
yeah,
methods and stuff haven't come out, but it's got to be TKO, KO, DQ is going to be the same odds for
yeah,
Lewis at 210 than it would be, like I feel like Lewis by TKO, KO, DQ is probably made like 215 versus his money line at 210. Like I can't imagine it's any different.
yeah.
Like if he's winning by TKO. So there's no method, I guess, to tell the people about winning.
No, this guy has his seven TKOs and one sub. I'll just say that.
Yeah. I mean, and he probably knocked him out and the guy was unconscious and they didn't call the fight, so he just subbed them.
Yeah, this headline says Talison Texera flattens Arthur Lopez with one punch.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Well, then maybe that under 1.5 is a good parlay piece.
Yeah, for like bone film decision KO or some shit, you know.
Yeah, let me see what I can do here. Trying to see if we can get a reasonable parlay. You like Junior Taffa, right? Yeah. Or no. How about this, Max? I got one for you. Just simple yet sufficient. Under 1.5, Derek Lewis and Teixeira minus 238 leg. And these are all juice, so just fuck everyone who's gonna let us.
Hmm.
Bonfim money line minus 410 and Curtis money line minus 325 for a parlay of plus 131.
I like that.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Are you fucking serious?
What?
I think did you get texted too? Like a week or so leading up to
Oh, it's all good. I'll look at it later.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so that's all I got for UFC.
Okay, I like it. I know. I'm not gonna get ahead to anything next week. Because we're gonna save that for next week. But overall, I'd say it's between the Scottish Open and the UFC Fight Night in Nashville. Two very good, sufficient, solid kind of preppers warm-ups for next weekend's absolute bonanza weekend. We're gonna be
Yeah,
in Chicago, we're gonna be celebrating a wedding, we're gonna be all over the place. We're going to be at Wrigley on Friday for a 120 game. We're going to be watching
yeah, boots will be on the
Open
ground.
Championship. We're going to be staying up on Saturday watching UFC. We're going to buy the card with Uncle Mike's card. Uh, but yeah, fuck yeah. All right, sweet. Love that. All right, Max. Speaking of Chicago. Speaking of being there next week, and we're going to be there for the Red Sox game on Friday at 1:20. We're going to be in the bleacher seats. We're going to be bleacher creatures. But, Max, how are we looking going into All-Star break? And we'll start with Cubs, and then we can do bigger picture. But I know you have been much more diligent on the Chicago Cubs this season. I've been kind of just secondhand getting group texts from you and Grayson and watching, when I can. Aside from PCA being on my fantasy team, but aside from that, talk to me, Max. Give me like I am someone who has not been watching the Cubs a lot recently. I know some of the things. What's up?
I mean, all in all, there's not much to complain about for Cubs fans right now. We're looking very good. 3.5 games above Brewers, 6.5 above Cardinals. Um, just absolutely demolished the Cardinals at home on Sunday. I think that was. Yeah, because we didn't play yesterday. Yeah, Sunday, 11-1 or 11-0. Just absolutely battered them. We look good. We have our ups and downs, as most teams do who have to play 162 games in a year. Um, but overall, I thought we'd go a little low. I thought we'd start dropping a little more coming into All-Star break as we always do. So I'm just worried about coming out of All-Star break and how we'll look. But we just need to make some moves at deadline. We need a couple pitchers, need a third baseman, a true third baseman that we can actually start every night and just not rotating these fucking three guys and having to put Turner at first and then Turner sucking dick and not having Michael Bush in the lineup to absolutely hit bombs. So, a couple things to work on there. Oh, all in all, feeling really good, super happy. We look good, and to tail into it, we have three all stars, two starters, and one pitcher who's an absolute beast, and Matthew Boyd. The two
Yep.
starters, Kyle Tucker and Pete Crow Armstrong, as you mentioned. So love it. Also snubbed, you said earlier this year or this
Yep.
podcast.
Good
Uh,
call back.
Slight snub in Seiya Suzuki. RBI leader in the whole league. Not the greatest. He's been 261. Um, So not the greatest batting, a couple other things, and I think it all comes down to that he's not in the field as much. He's either DH or and DH. The DHs that made it are Schwarber and Shohei, so you can't really say anything there. Um, so if he was in the field a little much, maybe he got over would have gotten over the Miami guy Stowers or something. But it is what it is. He's still, he is recognized around. I saw one tweet. It was who was snubbed, and granted, they were Cub. There were some of them were Cubs fans, but everyone was saying kind of say. So I'm happy. I'm here. We're top of the Central and probably like top three in the National League, maybe top easily.
Dude, I thought they were like top three in all of baseball, like not even a week ago.
Oh, we got. Oh yeah, with Dodgers.
I
Well, I
think it
guess
was Dodgers and
Philly,
like
Philly
Tigers.
Philly dropped a bit, I guess. Yeah, so we're right behind the Dodgers. Yeah, and then the Tigers are number one. And then
Yeah.
Astros are also,
Are they ahead of us?
yeah. So,
Max, before the season started, if I told you exactly where the Cubs were
I guess we're number two, sorry.
right now, would you be like, "Oh yeah, totally," based on our roster and everything we've done?
Kind of. I would have been more surprised, but would have said, yeah, it's expected.
Yeah,
You in the National League, so it would be, yeah, and there would be four in the league.
dude, four in the league is pretty big.
Well,
That's
two. But yeah, no. Looking good, dude. Looking real good.
okay. Well, we just kind of talked about other teams that are doing better than us. Um, any other snubs or was it? It was basically Trey Turner and Suzuki, right? Those were the big snubs, at least NL wise, I guess.
Yeah, AL, I probably couldn't really say who would be. Javi made it though. He's a starter.
Nice.
They got three starters from Detroit.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
Oh geez. I gotta
Nope, I'm not looking at it yet. Let's just right around the corner, right around the bend.
right around the corner, right around the corner, right around the corner.
Yeah, and then obviously,
Kyle Raleigh.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Nothing too crazy. I don't care about the NL until World Series when when the Cubbies got to face the Tigers in the World Series.
Yeah. Or the Dodgers and the Simmons.
We'll get through the Dodgers. We beat them once.
Yep. Yep. No, I like it. Let's see, Max. Anything else that's going on in the world of sports that is worth talking about? Summer League, great. We'll see how everyone does. Hope everyone's healthy. We're not gambling on that.
Nope.
Uh, FIFA Club World Cup, not
I'm
gambling
not
on that.
paying attention to that. That's
Yeah,
it. That's it. Relax.
I'm not gambling on that. WNBA, we kind of talked about it last week, but like Angel Reese and um Kalen Clark props are just lock city.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's about it. Euro 25 for the women's. Dude, I don't know. I don't know anything. Maybe a group future. Spain's probably gonna win the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that's about all I had, Max. We will totally talk more football. I honestly, next week is gonna be US Open and UFC 38 or US Open, British Open, the Open Championship, and then UFC 318. And then after that, we're going to be pretty much in August. So we're going to start up our division previews for NFL, conference previews and futures for college football, and then whatever else we can on the weekends. But we're going to be getting in that shit because we
Yeah.
have a lot of good future plays. I'd have to go back and look at all of them, but I know I nailed a lot of futures that I played in the NFL that I just didn't play until, or I didn't cash until after the season. But
Right.
a lot of good ops there, a lot of good stuff to look at. It's just talking football, Max. That's really all I care about.
For real.
So, unless you have anything else, let's go for the weekend. Let's have ourselves a good weekend. Going back to the lake. Otherwise, we're gonna just kick it and get ready for Chicago next week. We'll probably have the pod on Tuesday. Yeah,
Yeah, on Thursday.
yeah, we'll have the pod Monday or Tuesday. So either Tuesday or Wednesday. This will be out for you guys next week. Other than that, Max, let's have ourselves a good weekend. Love you, dude. Thanks,
Love
everyone.
you too. Thanks, guys.